Right, just want to go through the trade today in the session. So the thesis, right, being 3 levels of rise, was for a stop hunt on Kiwi. There had been no stop hunt by London traders into Asian longs. So we had all of these longs from Asia. We had the longs from the second leg of the London bullish trend. So these longs here, and the move higher into the 56 handle, and this sort of this parabolic move. And you've got to be thinking, well, there's a lot of length in that to short into. All of this here, all of this in here, etc. So that was the thesis, and it turned out to be wrong. I entered in here. Yeah, I entered on this candle. And I got out at break even on this candle. Now, in hindsight, I'm shorting on the front side of the trend. However, what does that look like on a lower time frame? On a lower time frame, I am on the back side of the trend, the breaking structure. We've got this micro M, we've got this pin over here, so this could be regarded as a peak formation. There's the M over there. We move back into the M, the pin, the breakdown of this sort of mini micro structure, right? Engulfment, M formation, another engulfment. So I think that wasn't a bad shout, really. It definitely wasn't a bad shout to get out here, because I would have been in that all day long. Well, I would have been stopped out straight away over here. So I can't remember why I decided to take my position off. Presumably, I just didn't like this candle here. It was too strong. These trades are supposed to just not come back, and this was a too strong a correction so soon after the breakout. Perhaps I'd have to go and check that, but there we are. Now on the gold trade, there was a lot of imbalance in this bullish impulse. We were breaking the structure. We had the peak formations double top. We had moved into a 15-minute. We'd move into this 15-minute M formations neckline, and we were rejecting. So I thought this could just continue going lower. Yields were picking up. US yields, the dollar was starting to stabilize. And again, I thought, well, there's an awful lot of length here. This has to come back at some point. Okay, so all of this, and then all of that in here. Come on. Trading View's really getting on my nerves at the moment. There we go. So I was looking for a move into here, but it just didn't want to melt. That was the retest. I got it again. Again, it was starting to look good, and then it just now. In fact, there was a move here that I did place, and I didn't get my fill. I'm on a demo facility here with TradingView. It's pretty shitty, to be fair. So that would have actually been a 3R win on that trade in here. But there we go. Yeah, so on the initial trade was a short in here. Now I'd actually drawn the structure higher up. We'd had these peak formations. We had this M, a number of micro M's. We had this decent move lower, a couple of pins. I think this was my motivation on this candle. But by the time I was faffing around with the order panel, I got a slightly better fill. But down here somewhere. And then I was stopped out over here. And then I tried to get in again. I don't quite remember where that was. But wherever it was, I think it was over here. No. It was in the 12 candle window. It basically went down to the lows. Yes, that's right. It was this trend line here. So we had the move back into the neckline of the M formation on the 15-minute. And then we had this M structure with the retest pin and the order panel. Just I was clicking it, wouldn't let me in, and that would have been a 3R trade. That wasn't over here until I actually hit target. Okay, so that was all. So ended up being one break even here, break even on the Kiwi, and then a loss on here, break even on the Kiwi, and there was another. That's right. On gold, the initial one was on Oanda, and the spread was horrible. Now, had I stuck with that trade initially, so let's have a look at that. Bear with me. Yeah, I might have actually been all right. Let's stop above there. It did come up, but so that probably would have worked out. But never mind. Don't trade Oanda. Now, in any case, I put a question over to Stacey Burke's channel, and I'm really, really pleased that he's replied. And so basically, taking into account the Kiwi dollar there, it's feasible that there could have been a pullback, but he's basically said it was a day one trend trade, Ross. He wouldn't be looking to counter trade a day one trend. So there we go. Lesson learned. Day one, do not try and counter trend day one trades. You're going to get the better chances of a pullback on day two or day three. It's all common sense stuff, really. It makes a lot of sense. But going back to that Kiwi, I mean, that was looking really ripe. But there we are. So I was asking specifically about talking about cable, in fact, because we're also looking for an entry on cable. Now, cable, we had a scenario whereby Asia longs over here, down there, were taken out. You had late Asia longs taken out to an extent. You had shorts in London taken out and longs taken out, so pretty zero positioning going on there. And then this move up into New York. So there was actually very little to take out in hindsight, right? So why expect a pullback if there's there's nothing really there apart from this stuff? So day one trade starts again, ground zero in terms of what's in the market positioning, right? So why try and short that? What is there to grab? Nothing. So just because it's a level 3 scenario does not mean that it needs to be shorted. It means you need to assess what has happened, gone on, what has gone on in the prior sessions. Now, sure, if you're at extremes, then the scalp is on, and if you can get a peak formation out of at the high of the day, then go for the scalp. And that's what we had. We had the head and shoulders, we had the M, we had the pin.
And so we're here in the UK PM Trust was with 1922 Committee Chair Graham Brady during Labour's urgent questions. Says this meeting with Brady was pre-planned.
And we had the 25 pip scalp into below the figure to take out the those that are chasing the move. So there we go. Back to the drawing board with Stacey Burke strategy in terms of day one setups. The real question is whether to, so for instance with cable, whether it would have been more sensible to have noted what had gone on in London and in Asia, and to be of the mind that, well, there's nothing to come back for, so get in on the trend. And if that had been the thesis, which it will be for the next time round that we have something like this, to be looking for the in. Right, so well, there's been no stop hunt, and it was just a simple trend trade. Don't really see any setup though here. You've got this micro M, a W pullback. Got there's nothing really here that's got the V bottom, I suppose. You could argue. Break of structure, just get in, stop below, go with the trend.